What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Savvy, and welcome back to the Savvy Show. And in today's episode, this SCP, man, this was on my radar for a while. It always looked interesting, but literally with so many animations in the beginning of creating this channel, I literally just got lost in the sauce, man. But today, it came up from under. So this SCP is SCP-163, an old castaway. So finally, it's time to go in. So with this SCP, man, I don't know what to expect. It seems like an alien creature per se. Maybe it was an old castaway, part of a crew, got lost, turned to alien, who knows, but we'll find out today. So with that being said, if you guys do end up liking this reaction, like always, smash that like button, also smash the sub button, join the family, and smash that bell so you can always stay plugged with each and every upload. And also special shout out to Dr. Bob per usual, man, always bringing out the fire animation. And it's time to dive deep into this one. So without any further ado, let's get this show started. Alrighty, SCP-163, an old castaway.
High in the Andes Mountains, two miners chip away at the rock with their mining picks in search of precious minerals when something strange happens. They hit an impenetrable wall. As they dust off the unbreakable surface they've reached, they see that it's a mirrored sheet of some strange metal. They start to break away the rock around it, revealing more and more of the shiny metallic surface. A
spaceship or something?
Until it suddenly disappears, as if by magic. Behind it is a chamber with strange machinery and a mysterious metallic ball inside. The two miners look at each other in disbelief. What on earth had they just discovered?
Yeah, for real.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob, and this is SCP-163, also known as an old castaway.
What the
The
heck?
Foundation soon caught word of the bizarre object that had been unearthed in the Andes Mountains, and immediately sent agents to secure the site. When they arrived, they found the metallic sphere was still there, though approximately 30% of the machinery originally reported to have been in the chamber.
It's a sphere? I would have never guessed that. Interesting.
Had been looted before they could get there. Based on analysis of the rock strata in which it was found, the chamber appeared to be many, many years old, and tests on the minerals present showed signs of a shock wave, indicating that whatever this was, it had crash-landed into the mountains. Upon examination of the metallic sphere, the agents found that it was a kind of machine, and one with a relatively simplistic interface. The agents deactivated the machine and were met with an amazing discovery. The mirrored ball was actually a kind of shield.
Here we
and
go.
Inside was something incredible. A creature that could only be described as extraterrestrial, and it was soon to be designated SCP-163.
Is it an alien?
The alien immediately lashed out at the agents, but they were able to subdue it and transport it back to a Foundation containment site for further investigation.
I really want to know how they subdued this creature. Literally looked like two doctors. Or scientists. Like, what? How did you guys subdue it so casually? It looked like it was ready to pounce. What? Okay, yo, there must be some cap. There must be something under the rug that they're trying to, brush aside. But we'll keep it pushing.
SCP-163 is like nothing that has ever been seen on this
Oh,
planet.
look at this old booty hole, bro. Like, yo, peep that? Holy shit. Look at that. Oh my god. Or whatever it is. Hey, who knows? Might have different body parts than us. Obviously, look at that. But still, peep it.
SCP-163 is like nothing that has ever been seen on this planet. It stands 2 meters tall and is 1.5 meters wide. Its body is roughly cylindrical, with a circular mouth on its lower body, and something that resembles a head on top. It has 8 legs, each with 3 joints that are arranged radially around the middle of its body.
Okay.
It also has multiple specialized limbs, including 2 prehensile apparatus on either side of its mouth to assist with feeding. 2 arms.
That's the mouth. Oh my god. No way. Yo. You really want to pick that position? These authors, bro, for these SCPs are really playing with me, bro. For real, for real. Yo, then this must be some eyes or whatever. Whatever's going on with the top. Literally looks like you guys know what it looks like. I ain't going to say it. Y'all know what I'm thinking. We're going to keep it pushing, though. But, yo, what are they doing?
Arms just below the head area that are capable of finer movement and the delicate manipulation of objects.
What?
2 larger arms just above its legs that are used for the manipulation of heavy objects, as well as self-defense.
Okay.
And the remains of 2 appendages, also near the mouth, that appear to have been amputated at some point prior to its discovery.
Oh.
30 centimeters from the top of SCP-163's head, is a single semi-compound eye, which wraps all the way around its head, giving it complete 360-degree vision.
What's with all the little grooves? A single eye? Literally looks like multiple eyes within the head, or whatever that area is called on that body. But one eye? A single eye? That got me. That got me.
The eye is separated into 88 separate units and is sensitive to ultraviolet C light,
Separated,
a short wavelength light that's harmful to most life on Earth. Its skin is transparent when exposed to the wavelengths of light that humans can see, but turns opaque under ultraviolet light. The strange properties of SCP-163 don't stop with what's on the outside. Tests of the creature's green-colored blood have revealed that it processes oxygen and carbon dioxide, similar to many creatures on Earth.
Okay.
But its circulatory system is nickel-based, as opposed to the iron or copper-based systems used by most terrestrial organisms. It also has an endoskeleton composed of tissue that's similar to cellulose, the substance that plant cell walls are made of. And its cells use DNA for instructions just like human cells do, with the same ACGT bases, but SCP-163 interprets those instructions differently from the way human cells do.
Is that why they have like human body parts, kind of like arms and legs, but is far from looking like a human? That would make sense.
All of these differences mean that SCP-163's home environment must be radically different from Earth's, with different types of proportions of elements present.
Hell yeah.
Certain elements that are perfectly safe for humans are dangerous to SCP-163, and vice versa.
I want to know. Tell me.
Tests have shown that while it's able to survive in our atmosphere unaided, it will begin to show signs of illness after 1 hour.
So oxygen?
In order to stay alive, it's vital that SCP-163 continues to possess and maintain the universal life support device that was discovered with it, designated SCP-163-1. The device is able to convert basic chemical elements into subsistence for 163, as well as projecting the protective metallic shield that it was found encased in.
The shield.
The other technology recovered from alongside SCP-163 has yet to be fully understood, though research is ongoing.
Let's see.
The technology is surprisingly low-tech, with much of it consisting of transistors assembled into analog computers, with seemingly varied purposes. The processes these computers appear to be modeling do not match up with any known scientific processes, and it's theorized that they have something to do with 163's life support. It's still not known how or if it communicates complex ideas. When in certain states, it produces a steady sinusoidal wave at approximately 15 hertz that can last anywhere from 15 seconds to 10 minutes.
Is that how you communicate?
And personnel that have been exposed to the sound have reported experiencing feelings of paranoia and are recommended to remain in well-lit conditions until the feelings subside.
Wait, if that is how he communicates, wouldn't... oh boy. Wouldn't his butthole or mouth should be closer to the machine? If he's actually communicating? So it might not be the case because that's his eye. Well, how could he do that with his eye? But we don't know yet. He's SCP, so we shall find out.
It produces a steady sinusoidal wave at approximately 15 hertz that can last anywhere from 15 seconds to 10 minutes, and personnel that have been exposed to the sound have reported experiencing feelings of paranoia and are recommended to remain in well-lit conditions until the feeling subsides.
Okay.
SCP-163's main way of expressing emotion appears to be with the lump of tissue above its compound eye, and depending on how it feels, it will furrow its brow in a number of different ways.
This SCP looks so wrong, bro. It's hard to take it serious. Like, the lump above us. Let's just keep it going.
It's also been shown to display a positive response to something by rapidly beating its delicate upper arms together, and a negative response by doing the same with its two powerful lower arms. SCP-163 is to be contained in an enclosure with rooms for living, dining, work, and sleep, as well as a receiving room with an airlock and seating that's appropriate for both 163 and a human researcher. The air in the enclosure is to be filtered and regularly checked for impurities, and there are two lighting systems, one that produces light within the human visible spectrum, and one producing ultraviolet light. Personnel are to wear isolation suits at all times when in the enclosure, to protect both themselves and SCP-163 from cross-contamination. Surprisingly, SCP-163, which has been classified as safe, is also free to leave its enclosure.
What?
provided it don its own isolation suit first, and is escorted by a researcher at all times.
Using this suit, would he be able to survive with the elements? Would he need his other component, like the SCP-163-1? Wouldn't it need that to handle the elements?
A number of experiments have been performed in an attempt to communicate with SCP-163, as well as determine its level of intelligence. In one test, a number of cards with images printed on them that depicted various human expressions and emotions were shown to 163.
Okay.
It did not appear to recognize any of them, but it did hold the 18th image shown up over the presiding researcher's faceplate. In another, it was given a test to see whether it was capable of selflessness and would offer help if given the chance. A researcher brought 2 wooden blocks and a box into 163's enclosure. The researcher opened the box and placed 1 block inside before closing the box.
This will be interesting because we can see what kind of creature this is, if it has any like malicious intent, or is it actually a helpful SCP.
The researcher then tried to place the other block inside the box, acting as if they were struggling and couldn't figure out why the block wouldn't go inside the closed box. After watching for 10 seconds, SCP-163 assisted the researcher and opened the box.
Okay.
A result consistent with how human children behave when given the same test.
Makes sense, yeah.
But the most unexpected result of all came when a researcher brought a canvas, brushes, and a selection of ultraviolet colored paints to 163's enclosure. 163 immediately began painting after being shown how, and soon produced a painting of an alien landscape with never-before-seen plants and animals.
Wow, his hometown, maybe.
SCP-163 stared at the painting it had produced for 7 minutes.
His hometown, home planet. He doesn't live here. Oh my god, I'm dead. Let's keep it going.
Before seeming to become angry, knocking the painting to the floor, and retreating to a corner of its room.
Let's go back.
The painting it had produced for 7 minutes
Hold up.
with never-before-seen plants and animals. SCP-163 stared at the painting it had produced for 7 minutes, before seeming to become angry, knocking the painting to the floor, and retreating to a corner of its room.
Was he an outcast? Maybe he got kicked off his planet, yo. Like, maybe the thoughts were hitting him in ways that wasn't heartfelt. It was the opposite. And that's why he was freaking out. He got mad and he retreated in a corner. So there's fear and there's hate. And, I mean, it's one thing to be, hateful, but you wouldn't be fearful. If you weren't fearful, why would you, retreat in a little corner? So there's more than meets the eye with this SCP. I want to know its origins.
It furrowed the tissue on its head, indicating distress, and all attempts at communicating with it failed.
Damn.
That is, until the researcher tried to remove the painting supplies, at which point SCP-163 beat its heavy arms together to indicate its unhappiness.
Yo.
The next day, the researcher brought more painting supplies.
Bruh.
SCP-163 continues to paint imagery of what is presumably its home alien planet.
Yeah, I figured.
It's truly amazing and lucky that SCP-163 was discovered. The Foundation is now monitoring all excavations of rock strata that are of similar age to the one 163 was discovered in.
Might find some brothers, sisters?
Perhaps one day another extraterrestrial will be discovered, offering 163 potentially a way home, or, at the very least, a friend.
For real.
Now go and watch it.
Dang, this SCP was cool. This was really dope. Leaves you with a lot of questions about what happened before, he was found and why he was, sent here. He's not Fremer, obviously, so it would be cool to see if there's any, origins behind his past that's not in this animation. I already know SCPs, there's no, really great stories behind them besides what's in the file itself. But this one seems like it could be, a whole, whole series about his journey from here, from wherever he came from. But anyway, that is the reaction. Let me know what you guys thought about this SCP in the comment section below. And if you guys did like this reaction, please remember to smash that like button. Also smash the sub button, join the family, and also hit that bell so you can always stay plugged with each and every upload. And unfortunately, that concludes today's episode. However, I'll catch you guys on the next one.
I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's